boys laughing through the airwaves.
Martin and Lou.
We just laugh without a care.
Martin and Lou.
We don't do politics, we don't do current affairs. We're two idiots talking rubbish. Leaving you resist.
Welcome to the Martin and Lewis show.
Yeah, it's the show.
Come on, folks, enjoy the flow.
Enjoy the flow.
Keep trucking, we won't let you go.
Won't let you go.
To Lewis, here we go.
No folks when good times roll.
Martin and Lewis,
Turn the dial, lose control.
let's take it slow.
On the airwaves, we bring the cheer. No time for tears, so we're here to make you laugh. Here it's the fifth.
This is the Martin and Lewis show.
Yeah, it's the show.
Rock on, folks, enjoy the flow.
Enjoy the flow.
There's no Martin Lewis, what hello.
Greetings and salutations, sir.
Hello there.
All right, listener.
Hello.
My name's Andy.
My name's Martin.
And
My name's Lewis. Ivan Lewis.
Did you deliberately get it wrong there?
No, I did. That was an accident. I was expecting you to say my name's Lewis.
Right, no. We're prepared. I'm Andy Martin. You're Ivan Lewis.
I am.
This is Martin and Lewis Experts On. The third episode of this, we used to do radio. We'd done that for a very long time, a while ago.
Yeah, about 10, 12 years.
Yeah, and it was probably about 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
We finished.
Yeah.
So we're old. And we done a comeback podcast a few years ago without the music side of it.
Yeah.
And then because of lockdown and that, we sort of stopped.
Yeah.
But we're back with a new format.
Yes.
And we're now on YouTube.
Issue 3, can we call it?
Issue for this one. That works.
Yeah.
Issue 3. We're on YouTube and Amazon. I don't know if I'll put anything else yet, but we're on them. Not Amazon, Spotify.
Yeah.
YouTube and Spotify.
All the big ones.
Yeah. So I might have put this on Amazon. I can't remember, but we're definitely on those two. And basically, we ask you, the listeners, and our friends and family and co-workers and enemies, to pick
People in the street.
Yeah, people above the street, people under the street, the Ninja Turtles, to pick a different random topic every month, and we'll attempt to do a podcast on it because we're experts on it, hence the title.
Yes.
But we're not. But this one, you actually know quite a bit about, didn't you?
I know a fair bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not I wouldn't go on Mastermind.
Yeah. So before we say what the topic is, you've probably read the title, so you know. Here's some of the ideas that people suggested to us. Well, your brother actually suggested one. I've only just noticed.
I know he did. Yeah, he told me this morning.
He put Coldplay or Ed Sheeran. The nation needs to know. The answer is either or both. We don't care. Tracy Wood has suggested the state of today's society. That's too serious. I've gone on for ages about how that's too serious. This is another one. Michael Pettit has put greatest children's series of the 70s and 80s. That
could be like a follow-on from this.
Gemma Salmon has put dinosaurs. Good one. Actually, I could do a whole one on dinosaurs.
Okay.
Remember Denver, the Last Dinosaur?
No.
That's a cartoon. Look it up, kids.
I remember the family Ness.
That was cool, wasn't it?
That was kind of like dinosaurs, wasn't
it? Jess has suggested eyelids. Tim has suggested squirrels. Dan Reed has suggested him, as in he's just put me. So we could do that.
Is that the Dan Reed Network, the band?
No, it's a. But I like the Dan Reed Network. That's it. Julie suggested baked beans, Heisel Branston. I go for Tesco value because I'm cheap. Paul Gage, does the fridge door go off when the door does the fridge light go off when the door closes? And I have responded with yes, I installed cameras, so that's that sorted. And then he put, does the rain in Spain fall mainly on the plane? I put nope.
No, the planes are in hangars.
No, I put nope, I installed cameras. Then he put, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I put, don't know, run out of cameras. And then that shut him up finally. So Paul, we ain't using any of them.
Well, I should say we are recording this on April the 1st.
Yes.
But it's after 12, so there's no April Fooling.
Yes, so no humour.
No pranking.
No, so we've gone for Mario has suggested the topic of, and he was the first one to put it as well, British kids comics, Beano, Dandy, Topper, Wizard, etc. Now, I know that you're a fan of these comics. Big
I
fan.
am.
And I generally thought you'd staged it. So that
No,
was the
no.
topic. But then I realised you don't know Mario.
I don't. Haven't a clue.
So,
Never even seen a picture of him.
No, I'll show you one. Here he is. There's Mario. He's got his
There he
Superman
is,
cap on there.
Ah,
And
lovely chap.
yeah, and then there's him on a game show in the background there. I don't know, is that 15 to 1 or something? I don't know.
No, that would be The Chase.
The Chase. So I remember him going on the game show. And
So my mum's probably watched that one.
yeah, so there we go. So thanks, Mario. We've used your suggestion this month. So we're going to talk about these comics.
Yeah.
British comics. Some are still going, some aren't. Massive when we were kids.
Yeah. Yeah, there was the Beano, the Dandy when I was a kid, Whizzer and Chips, Whoopee, Cheeky, all sorts.
Yeah.
Not one called All Sorts. I think there was a comic called All Sorts.
Probably was.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I only really remember Dandy and Beano. So I think a lot of the others had filtered out because you're a couple of years older than me.
Yeah.
But they were probably there when I was right young, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
But,
When were you reading them?
well, I late 80s. I was born in 81. So it'd been sort of mid to late 80s, I suppose. I was reading.
Okay, there was still three of the big main ones. For
Dandy and Beano I used to get.
Yeah.
I bought the odd Beano and I used to get Dandy every fortnight a week whenever it came out. I subscribed through my local newsagents, Keith Avis in Hadley.
Ah, lovely chap.
Yeah, nice man. But what was the other one? What was still going then?
So in '89, you still had Whizzer and Chips. Whoopee had gone. And there was Buster. They were the two main ones from IPC.
So I don't remember Wizard, but I remember some of them would still have, like today, going to that, but Beano's still going, Dandy isn't.
Yeah.
But there's still a Dandy annual every year.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them were doing that, having specials
They were.
and stuff.
There would always be a core annual up until about 12 years after the comic had folded.
Yeah. And I've always seen, I don't know if it's always been like this, but Beano was the big one.
Yeah.
Beano was the Superman to Whizzer's Ant-Man.
Yeah. Whizzer?
Wizzo, I don't know.
There was never a Whizzer.
Was it?
No.
What was it called?
It was always Whizzer and Chips.
Whizzer and Chip. Oh yeah, you was going to say about that. So,
Yeah.
but people think like myself.
Yeah.
It was just called Whizzer.
Yeah, it was always because a lot of the comics used to it was called merging, but it basically meant that one comic was failing.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make the most of it and join it up to another more popular comic.
Yeah.
So people thought that Whizzer and Chips were two separate comics that had been merged, but they never were. They were always one comic.
See, I fell for that.
Yeah.
It's a bit of what's it, Mandela syndrome. I think
Yeah.
people think they know it, and
Much like Shiver and Shake and Look and Learn.
stop, look, and listen.
Yeah.
It's weird that the popularity over the years seems to have gone, but I'd say Beano and Dennis the Menace especially is still huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's very tamed down now, though, compared to what I remember.
Yeah, there was a little nerdy kid who used to bully, wasn't there?
Walter the Softy, they called him.
Yeah, well, is he still called Walter the Softy or just called Walter?
He's not called the Softy anymore. He's just called Walter.
Walter.
But now, supposedly, sometime about 10 years ago, the original Dennis and the original Walter, they are now the parents, and the kid.
Okay.
The kid is the new Dennis the Menace.
So they've sort of changed. That's cool. I like that. I like that they did that. It's not like The Simpsons then, where over the years, you'll see flashbacks in old episodes to Homer in school, which would now make him about 70.
Yeah.
So that's quite a good way to do it. I think I like that, and that way because of obviously things changing in society, and things that weren't so offensive then are now, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You can sort of tackle that in a way of it's modern society, so they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. That's good. Yeah.
I don't know anybody that actually calls himself a menace, though.
No. Well,
it would kind of be attracting trouble, I think.
Because this is something you might be able to know, fill me in on, because there was in America the blonde-haired cartoon character Dennis.
Dennis, yeah.
Was that called Dennis the Menace, or was it just Dennis? Or were they both called Dennis?
I think they were both called Dennis the Menace.
Because it rhymes.
Yeah.
But do you know which one was first? It must have been the British one.
I think they were pretty much the same week.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure which way round. Possibly from the same day.
What, that they came out?
Yeah.
Okay, so was this planned?
No, it was all coincidence.
That's weird. Isn't it?
Coinkydink.
That is weird.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
As someone doing a poor Australian impression would do.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why they've never had any copyright problems, because they were both unintentional
yeah, coincidence.
Same time.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you like the American one?
Not at all.
No.
I don't read many American comics.
I've never read the comic, but I remember the cartoon.
Yeah.
And there was a film with Walter Matthau as the dad, as
Was it,
Mr. Wilson's neighbour.
It wasn't with Macaulay though, was it?
No, he done Richie Rich.
That's it. Yeah.
Which came out around the same time.
Yeah.
So these things were big in my childhood, but even then they were like 50 years old, like the characters.
Yeah.
So Beano would have been pre-war.
38, I think.
38, and Dandy was 39.
37.
37. Sorry, yeah, it was the year before.
Maybe early 38. I'm not sure.
I think I googled this morning.
Yeah.
I do my research in good time. It said 37. So that was just before. What do you remember? Like why you picked up the comics? Why you started reading them? Or just
Well, the first time I remember seeing a comic was at school. In the classroom we had like the wet days when it was raining outside. We couldn't go out in the playground, so we had a cupboard where all the wet day toys and stuff were, and there was a pile of, I don't know, half a dozen comics, and one of them was called Core. I can't remember anything about it. I just saw it and I liked it.
Yeah.
And then about 3 or 4 years later, I started collecting comics. The first one was called Cheeky Weekly. That was the first one I remember buying.
Yeah. So and that did you buy many of them, or was that just a few and then you built to other?
It originally started. I just got Cheeky, and then we got then I got a few from not boot sales. There was no such thing back then. Jumble sales and stuff. I'd buy a roll of 10 for 10 pence or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So it was when I was a kid. I collected American comics. You know, your superhero, your DC ones, more DC than Marvel. Sod Marvel. DC. And I used to occasionally I'd beg my parents to drive me to Colchester where there was actually a comic shop. There is one in Ipswich now. There wasn't then, and it's been there in Ipswich quite a while now.
Yeah.
And they were quite expensive. But then I remember being on holiday. We used to go to the holiday camps, and one of the shops would sell bundles of the older ones for like £2, and you get like 10.
Yeah.
So that's where all my money went that holiday. I didn't care about.
Ice cream.
What we do is want to get these comics. But interestingly, it was these holiday camps that got me into, just a few years before I got into American ones, Dandy and Beano.
Yeah.
Because did you ever go to holiday camps as a kid?
No, we always went camping.
Okay.
In tents and.
Yeah. So in the Heidi High style holiday camps, the kids were put in like kids groups.
Yeah.
And you do different games and just hang about with the other kids while your parents had sex or whatever they were doing. That's a joke. My parents have never. There was in this holiday camp there was two groups because of so many kids. There was the Dandy and the Beano. Yeah. And we got to wear our Dandy and Beano badges, and it was all themed with that.
Yeah.
Probably not got permission to do that for copyright reasons. But I wanted to be in the Beano group because that's what I read. I was put in the Dandy group. And then because of my stubbornness, that made me like Dandy more, so I started collecting Dandy.
Okay.
But to be fair, if you named them, I probably remember. But I don't remember any of the characters in Dandy apart from Desperate Dan now.
Yeah. Not Corky the cat.
I don't know. You've said it, yes.
Who else was there? Let's say that in English. Bully, Beef and Chips.
Sounds familiar.
He was like a bully, and it was kind of like Dennis and Walter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. It's vaguely remember. So that was.
In fact, he was the inspiration for Biffa Bacon from Viz.
Okay. Yes. Yeah,
very similar looking.
So Viz, if you don't know, was kind of the adult spoof of these, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was on the higher shelf.
Yeah, that started out in '79
with the bluer magazines.
Yeah.
I never really enjoyed Viz.
No.
I didn't. They'd done a film with the Fat Slags characters, didn't they?
Yeah.
And that bombed. But then nowadays you see online a lot of the letters to Viz pop up, the fictional, and some of them are quite funny.
Yeah.
So and that's still going, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, so that's been going, 45, 46 years.
Yeah.
Mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Craziness.
yeah. So you do you still read the comics, or do you?
I do, yeah. Not as avidly as I used to.
Yeah.
I just like owning them.
Yeah. So so a nice little hobby.
Yeah.
One thing I remember is when towards the end of my getting the Dandy and the Beano, because I sort of stopped when when I got more into the Arderman action comics and stuff. Was I got to a point of the stories were repeating.
Yeah.
And you'd buy the annual end of the year, and obviously that was all the stories, a lot of the stories from the year.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that I'd get a comic, and then there'd probably be only one or two things that I'd not read before. But I suppose that's because they would churn them out. Was it weekly?
The Dandy was, yeah. And the Beano. It wasn't during the war.
No.
During the war, it was fortnightly. So 1 week would be the Beano, the next week would be Dandy, then the Beano.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. And then I think now, because the Beano still gets monthly, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't had one for quite a while.
So you collect the old ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the newer ones, the glossy ones aren't so good.
Yeah, because it used to be almost like a coloured newspaper look, didn't they?
Yeah,
Which is... We'll put some pictures up of us with some Beanos at some point.
Because I brought some.
Yeah. And... so and there was I also remember in my sort of early teens, late whatever it's called before teens, there was
pre-teens.
Yeah, pre-teens. There was Dennis the Menace cartoon. I think still
there was. Yeah,
comes and goes every now and then.
Yeah, it's had various updates and stuff. I don't know what it's called these days, but Dennis and Nasher perhaps.
Yeah. Some people call it Gunasher, which is stupid.
Yeah.
It's not Gnome, is it?
No.
And it's Arden, not Garden.
Yeah.
So iconic characters. I go to a lot of the Comic Cons, as you know, and a lot of the Beano artists are there, and they'll like draw caricatures of you and stuff, and sell your Beanos and that, which a mate of mine done last time. I might get that done.
Yeah.
We should have pre-thought this.
We should have.
Well, but then that goes against the show. Just give the topic.
We like to have about a day's preparation.
Well, that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had 5 minutes preparation day, but I knew this was your thing. This was like, if I was Dan Reed and had to do a podcast on myself, I wouldn't have to research, would I? Because I'd know who I am.
Yeah.
Or do I know who I am? Looks up at the sky thoughtfully. I am Andy. Hear me roar.
Yes.
Gra.
I'm going to cough.
He stood back there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't offensive, but it was still a far cough.
In the distance.
In the distance, yeah. So you collect them and you sort of trade them as well now, don't you?
Yeah. Can I mention my eBay account, my eBay seller account?
Well, you wouldn't catch me plugging my other podcasts like Beyond the Graves and Stars, the horror sci-fi podcast, or the King Street Cinema podcast for King Street Cinema, or Highway to SNL, the new podcast where me and musician Chris Asker discuss a different cast member from Saturday Night Live every month, all of which can be found on YouTube and Amazon. I wouldn't do that.
No, okay. It's a good job you said those quite clearly as well.
While sat here at the Brewers Arms in Ipswich.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so my eBay account...
I said no!
I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay, go then.
It's Sky_9999. And I think you can search for the seller account's name.
Okay, so then there's a lot of these comics on there, yeah.
Yeah. If not, just search for comics in Ipswich.
Yeah.
And you should find me fairly easily.
So you type in comics in Ipswich, and it will say at the Regent next week, Jimmy Carr.
Yeah.
And you'll be like,
Jim Davidson.
That's not neither of them are comics. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Well, Jimmy Carr can be quite funny.
Yeah, he can, but I find his humour very predictable.
Yeah.
Like he says the setup for a joke, and then you can work out the punchline in your head.
Yeah.
He's not a comedy genius like Sweep from the City Show.
No.
Who put a thing on Facebook this morning saying that he'd won an award for his sausage magazine, but it was an April Fool's, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to go and get that.
I love Sweep. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's a good dog. He's a good boy.
He is.
I don't think he gets a war pistol. There's probably comics of that back in the day, weren't there?
Silly and Sweep. Well, there was. I think he was featured in a comic called TV Comic.
Ah, well, they're different.
Yeah, so there would be Basil Brush,
Boom
Tom
Boom.
and Jerry. So I'm sure
Last
Sooty
of the
and
Summer
Sweep-
Wine.
Yeah, I'm sure Sooty and Sweep would have been on there.
Yeah. I mean, I've just had a memory of in the early 90s, I used to get, they only done 2 or 3 of them, but the Gladiators, they'd done a comic of that, you know, with Wolf and
Did
Jet
they?
and stuff. Yeah, I've probably still got them somewhere.
Okay.
I think there was only 2 or 3 issues and it stopped, but they did. Because there was a Gladiator magazine every month.
Was it like comic strips or
Yeah,
just
comic strip,
magazine?
yeah, like making them out to be like superheroes and stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, or eBay that one.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought comics, kind of graphic novel-y ones of the Tony Robinson TV series Made Marian and a Merry Man.
Yeah.
There's comics like that, but they were like books like Asterix.
Yeah.
So that's nothing I was into as a kid. I really like Asterix books. I found Tintin a bit boring, but
I never got into Tintin.
do you like Asterix though?
I did, yeah, but I don't remember any of the stories.
I remember Obelix would knock someone into the middle of next week.
Yeah.
And there was Dogmatix, who was a dog.
And there was the musician that couldn't play.
Oh yeah, the
Very
bards,
well.
yeah. Yeah, what's his name? Ed Sheeran.
Get the Fix or
I
something.
Get Fix, that was it, yeah. And then there was Vital Statistics.
He was the chief, I think, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
But apparently in France they didn't have the silly names like that. That's
No.
just what the British translation was. They just made it sillier.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's very retro of us. So, but back in the day, Dan Debino, they didn't have, they weren't like I mentioned the Gladiator comic, and a lot of things are there now to push a product. Like there's probably magazines and stuff for say Paw Patrol for little kids.
Yeah.
Whereas Beano was just its own thing.
Yeah.
It was the product, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Back then, when Beano first started, there wasn't much TV.
no,
Had
because
TV actually started back then? I'm not
no,
sure.
well, no, but I suppose there'd be people would go to the cinema and watch
Yeah.
because you'd get show news and everything was on the
Yeah.
cinema, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and you see it in old films. They sit there and there's the news on and stuff, and serials like the old Batman one and Flash Gordon, things like that.
Yeah.
Which Flash Gordon was a comic first, wasn't it? And then a radio show.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was a comic, then a radio show,
Okay.
and then there's a book of all the comics.
Oh,
yeah.
you had that handily
And I thought I was sitting on it.
a big.
Well, I think it was a comic strip in newspapers.
Okay, yeah,
and then built from that. That's
that
what-
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So Flash.
He's saved every one of us.
Yeah. One of my favourite quotes from a film ever, and it's in the song Flash, is Dale, the female protagonist in it, shouts.
Dale Arden.
Yeah. Flash, Flash, I love you, but we only have 13 hours to save the Earth. What about Downer?
Yeah.
He was all like, ooh, I'm in there.
Dale Arden.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say with a silent G.
Oh, yeah, I should have done. Yeah. I was too busy thinking about Sweet from City and how cool he is and how he does meet and greets, but I'm not kidding, I can't go.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Never mind.
Yeah. So, so comic books still are a big thing, but back then there was less. See, there was no Netflix, no TV, so comics were every week the kid would look forward to the comic and stuff. And now I think, I don't know, it's like with the Beano, I suspect a lot of people who read are actually our age who still buy it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that a lot of people do, that have had like continuous runs from the 60s up to now, but I couldn't do that. The newer ones just aren't the same for me.
Do you still every now and then get a free refresher bar or something? Do you remember that? You get a free...
I don't know. I think most of the time the free gifts are like cheap plastic rubbish.
Oh, right. Free bowl of soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get a free gift every now and then. That was entirely. I just remember refresher bars being.
Yeah.
Imagine when you're trading them and looking for them. Do you ever get any with an uneaten one?
Yes, and it's usually quite sticky and
Does that actually
leaks
happen?
out. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got a few of them.
What kid would have that and not eat the refresher bar?
Exactly.
Well, weird kid.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Craziness.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
I've got a few old, the Swizzles Matlow lollies that
Yeah.
I've got a few of them still stuck on.
Okay. Ugh. Right, we'll change subject from that.
Yeah.
I think about Sweep from City. Obviously, the big one's Desperate Dan, and it was Dennis the Menace. What
Yeah.
other characters do you remember from these? Was there like the Backstreet Boys or something, weren't there?
Yeah, Bash Street Boys.
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah.
With well, most of them have changed their names now.
Were they offensive?
Yeah, there was Fatty.
Ooh.
There was Toots. She was a girl. Sydney. Danny was a boy with like skull and crossbones.
I remember. Yeah, but so they wouldn't have changed Sid or Danny.
I don't think so, but I know Fatty, obviously.
Yeah.
I think he's now Freddy.
Yeah. Okay. It's like in Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
They changed the Fat Controller to Lardass. Didn't they?
Did they?
No, they just changed him to the nice
The
man.
controller or
Yeah,
something.
the nice man.
Yeah.
And in the movie of it, they got Alec Baldwin to play him.
Yeah.
So I imagine he wouldn't have wanted to be called that.
No.
The controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange casting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like as well. It's like what will appeal to American kids? Oh, Alec Baldwin. Oh, Alec Baldwin from 18 certificate movies that I can't think of any names of at the minute.
Things to do in Denver when you're dead.
Yeah, I suppose Beetlejuice, but that was not aimed at right young kids.
Yeah.
And The Shadow, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that's not kids.
But when there was that film where he shot somebody and
No, he didn't. No, he produced a film
But
where there
he-
was an
he-
accident.
yeah, he still shot them.
No,
Whether
it wasn't him. He was just a producer. Everyone thinks that he shot him, but he didn't.
No, he had the gun, didn't he?
No, it's just exaggerated.
So why did they say that it was him then?
Because he produced the film, so he's getting in trouble because he was overseeing it all.
But I don't know.
I think that's what happened.
I heard that it was him that had the gun.
Oh, I don't know.
He thought it had blanks in it or whatever.
I don't know. I don't think so. We'll have to. Well, the audience can look it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Leave comments in the comments.
Yeah. I
And-
like Alec Baldwin. He's a nice man.
Yeah.
He's funny on Saturday Night Live.
He was in the Clerks TV show, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
As Leonardo.
yeah, because they wanted to get Alan Rickman, but he didn't
Yeah.
want to be typecast. Or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
then-
And they drew the character to look like Alan Rickman as well.
Yeah.
So
And then Alan Rickman ended up doing Dogma. And
was that? Oh, yeah, I suppose. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dogma. Don't know if you know all the trouble with the Weinsteins. And
Yeah.
that, and it's finally going to get a re-release.
yeah, I saw that Kevin Smith's got the movie back.
Yeah, so there's going to be in America at least. There's going to be a cinematic release.
Yeah.
And in the UK, hopefully they'll get that, but there's going to be a Blu-ray release,
Good.
a special edition. So yeah, that's back to comics.
Yeah.
Because we don't go off topic, do we?
Not at all.
So should we take a break now, and we'll do this month's celebrity swears.
Let's do that then.
Yeah, while we're off topic. So if you're not aware what celebrity swears is, one of us, usually me, will give a quote of a celebrity swearing. And the other one has to see if they can guess what celebrity it is.
I'm going to look away because you're looking at your phone.
Yeah,
while
I've
you read this.
screenshotted the quote. So in an interview, the interviewer asks this actor, so it's an actor, when you were getting pitched, and there's the name of one of his successful films, you were at your peak of your stardom. Did you think this could be really silly? Now this was asked in 1989 to an actor. His response was, "What? Do you think I peaked? What are you talking about? What the F are you talking about?" So but apparently he tried just to keep a straight face, but then sort of sniggered, so he was joking.
So this is a big name, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a big name actor.
In 89.
In 89. The question was obviously asked after that, but so he's implying that.
Had he actually peaked at that point?
Well, 89 was a big film he was in, right? And I picked this because I know it's an actor you like. He was in a big film in 1989, but I'd say that was like the sleeper hit, unexpected hit that went on to be big and still talked about now-ish. And then he went on to make bigger budget films after and got more involved in filmmaking himself after this film.
I was going to say Bruce Willis, but
It's not Bruce Willis.
okay.
Still acting.
Stallone?
No. Still not. He's not an action star, but he has been in a few action-based films. If I give you,
And I like him.
you like his work. I think you do. We've definitely had conversations over the years about him.
Well, it's not Adam Sandler though,
No.
because you know that I don't like him.
No, I could have thrown that in just to so we could discuss about your unreasonable hate for a Titans man. Yeah, so I'm trying to do clues without being too obvious. He's worked with Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Is he English?
No, he's not English. Well, in one of his films, he was English. Yeah, and a big clue there. Known for westerns as well. That's a big clue.
Clint Eastwood?
No, he's worked with Clint Eastwood. He's starred in a film with him.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Is there a comic connection to this person?
No, I just picked a quote.
All right, okay.
'Cause
I thought maybe you were saying
no,
Superman or something.
No. Oh well, he was in Man of Steel, one of the more recent Superman.
Oh, was it Kevin Costner?
It's Kevin Costner, yeah.
Oh,
and the film they were talking about was Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
So yes, you're a Kevin Costner fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
Costner.
I do like the.
You're a Costner.
Yeah. I like the Dances with Wolves.
Oh, that's a good one. I like
the Water Worlds.
Yeah, I like. I want to watch The Postman because I rented it when it came out and turned it off.
Yeah.
I watched it with some mates. It isn't a watch with mates film, and it really bombed and got bad reviews. But it's one of those ones that nowadays people say actually isn't that bad. It's have you seen that one?
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time, but I remember thinking I thought it was all right.
Yeah, that's your review for most film.
Yeah.
But you generally didn't hate it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because I liked it. Last year he released. It was meant to be like a 4-part Western cinematic experience called Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And they released the first one. It lasted 3 hours. It was very traditional, old-fashioned wrestling. Western. And I loved it. I thought it was really well shot, really good, nice characters, lots going on. Really look forward to the second one.
Yeah.
And they've made the second and third, I believe, but it looks like it didn't do well enough for them to get released.
Oh, okay.
They'll probably appear on streaming or something soon. But I want to see it on the big screen. I want to see it, and
Well, what you'll have to do, put it on TV and get really close up.
That don't work. I tried.
No.
Remember when Showgirls came out and I went old enough to go and see it?
Yeah.
I didn't do that. Just done that in the cinema. I just went stood at the front staring while going. Then it's him from Twin Peaks. And giggling because I've said Twin Peaks.
Oh, it's her. You say Showgirls?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's her from Saved by the Bell.
I haven't seen it. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. What, Saved by the Bell?
Yeah. No, it's Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell. Shaved by the Bell. Shaved by the Bell. And it was Gina Gershon as well. There's some big name, big director, same guy done RoboCop.
Yeah.
So, where do you see the future of British comics going?
Well, there are a lot of reprints and relaunches of old comics.
Yeah.
A company called Rebellion is doing a lot of IPC relaunches. So they're using the old characters, sometimes using the old strips, but they're doing a lot of redraws as well. So redrawing the old strips. And making new stories as well.
Yeah,
so that's good.
So I think it'll be along for many years to come.
Yeah, and there's another company called, let me find where I made a note of this. Oh, Treasury of British Comics.
Yeah,
they're doing a lot of the same kind of thing.
So things sort of go around and sort it. So sorry, I've just had a message from work. I'm not at work, and I've got to respond.
You're above work.
I'm above work. I'm above work.
You're in a room that's above
in the
work.
flat above work. I nothing with these things is I think that when a TV show or movie of one of the characters comes out, that it revives it and there's more interest.
Yeah.
But I think they do have to keep redoing these things because a lot of people. When they don't have phases, and they'll have a phase of the Beano, then go off it.
Yeah.
But then the new kids have got to come through and do it. So just churn them out as well.
Yeah, got to keep reinventing, I suppose.
Yeah. So all it needs is a movie or cartoon, and then the comics probably triple in
everything.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's still there, isn't it? It's just a shame that there's only really the Beano now.
Yeah. And funny you mention films of these comic story strips. There is a fan film coming out soon of Banana Man.
Oh yeah, because I always forget that Banana Man started. Was it the Beano Dandy?
It was originally in a comic called Nutty
Oh, okay.
in 1980.
Okay, but that's from the makers of these comics.
Yeah, it's from DC Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah, because Banana Man was a big thing when I was a kid as a cartoon. So there's a fan-made film coming out.
Yeah. Do you know who did the voices of the Banana Man and the Banana characters?
It was Eric.
Eric?
Was
No,
that
who did the voices, the actors?
I don't know, actually.
It was the comedy trio, The Goodies.
Was it really? Okay, yeah.
Bill Oddie, Graham Garden, and Tim Brooke Taylor.
Graham Arden.
Yeah.
See, I was on it that time, wasn't I?
You were top on top.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I didn't realise that. I think because Goodies were before my time, but Bill Oddie I know from the nature shows.
Yeah.
And he's got a funny name because it sounds like body.
Yeah. And it sounds a bit odd.
Oddie, yeah.
Oddish.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I suppose everyone knows that. I don't.
Yeah.
But I do now.
Yeah. And obviously they were quite connected with Monty Python.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them had worked with Monty Python before Monty Python.
Yeah, then they'd done the stuff with Frost and that.
Yeah.
And they'd done kids TV as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that several of the Python, I said it in American, several of the Python team wrote early episodes of Two Ronnies till quite recently.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you watch it, it's a bit more surreal.
Yeah, it's I think Terry Jones and one of the other ones. I think Palin. I think it was.
Was there anything funnier than Terry Jones playing a woman? Just ridiculous high pitch.
Never.
Really
that was always the height of
and
hilarity.
I think Terry Jones is my favourite Python, because I really like Eric the Viking.
Yeah.
And his other sort of films he done, and he wrote the screenplay for Labyrinth.
He did, yeah.
Which and there's a joke in Labyrinth that you can tell is Monty Python, where they're crossing a bridge, and a little dog who the fox who's on the dog, he's guarding the bridge, and he says, "No one can pass by without my permission." And the girl just goes, "Can we have your permission?" He goes, "Yes," and then lets them through, which is, you can just tell that's
yeah.
I love that bit. But yeah, so Banana Man movie then. What's this all about?
I don't know anything about it. I've seen like a few pictures of it, and it looks quite
be low budget, I'm guessing.
Yeah, quite adult, not adult, but
yeah. So was I recording when I mentioned? I don't know. We mentioned before about this film, but I went to a Banana Man musical in London. A few years ago, and it was like off West End at I think it's called the Playhouse Theatre or something.
Yeah.
And it was really good, and it was busy, and it got fairly good reviews, I think. And just nothing came of it. It never went on to go be bigger, or
we'll have to have a look online on the YouTubes to see if there's any footage of it. Yeah,
there must be. I've just found it here but I can't find anything about the film. But the musical, it says book now, so maybe it's still running. Let's have a look. No, you can book tickets for the 15th of December 2017. So that'd be the one I went to.
Yeah.
But yeah, there must be footage. Shame, because it was really good. At the same theatre, which I think it's in London near Elephant Castle. They also saw Toxic Avenger, the musical there.
Yeah. Which
was originally in America. The music's done by David Bryan from Bon Jovi.
Okay.
Or Bon Jovi, as they call it over there. And that went on they moved that to the West End.
Yeah.
And I saw another one, I forget the name of it, but it was a rock musical about the Bronte sisters. And that was awesome. But that didn't go anywhere either. So,
no.
And I also saw a musical version it's supposed to be a ska version of Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
But it was just a normal one. They played a bit of ska in the background. That wasn't very good. But the other ones were good.
Do you like ska?
No. Well, I like Rancid. They're cool.
Yeah.
Time bomb.
I don't like the sound of trumpets.
Sorry, I thought that was silent. That a wind joke.
No, I've always thought that a trumpet sounds like a fart.
That's why they call it.
That's why I don't like it. It kind of diminishes the music of
Yeah.
what you're trying to play.
Yeah. So what you're saying is.
And as you know, I take music seriously.
Yeah. So yes. So you're anti-Trump.
Trumpet, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not anti. I'm also anti-Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not. We don't do politics, do we?
No.
So yeah. There's a Banana Man animated movie. But I suppose if it's a fan made one, it's gonna be quite hard to.
I think it's live action, so
Yeah.
actually, how actors
Yeah.
are
There's
going to be in it.
looks like there's one here. British Comedy Guide, Banana Man, 2014 film that was never made. There's a short film, but yeah, there probably is, because if it's with these fan made ones, because there's a lot of fan made like Friday the 13th type spin-offs and
Yeah.
stuff that there's no news about, then it just comes out. So,
Yeah.
you know, someone might mention it in an interview, so it's out there a bit. But I'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
Who should they cast in the Banana Man movie?
Are we talking anybody? No particular.
Well, yeah, as in actors or famous people. Because I think Eric,
Yeah.
should be Tim Chalamet, the guy who was in June, who's like actually about 30, but he looks really young.
Tim Chalamet.
Yeah, he should be little Eric.
Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, people know who we mean.
I've heard the name, but I
Yeah.
don't know how to say it.
Yeah, that's why I tried to get you to
Yeah.
say it. So, yeah, he should be little Eric,
Yeah.
but dressed like he's about 8.
Would he be like in The Hobbit, where they make him look smaller?
Nah, just have him how he is, because he
Right,
looks small
okay.
anyway.
Right.
And then the big one, who could be Big Banana Man?
The Gut.
What?
The Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg. Wow, what a casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, he could, but yes, I was thinking of more of your like Dave Bautista or someone, but yeah, because Gutenberg in the 80s, when he get his chest out, he was quite built, wasn't he?
Yeah,
We were all
yeah.
sitting in Cocoon when he's on the boat.
Yeah.
Remember that bit?
Yeah. It's a long time since I've watched it, but I have vivid memories of that particular moment.
Oh, yeah, same. Oh, Gutenberg. Yeah, that's a good casting.
Yeah.
Should we do our regular casting now?
Okay.
We'll recast. Do you want to do it as the Beano?
Well, you had another suggestion as well, so maybe we do both.
We do both. So we do a carry-on recasting. We'll start with the Beano.
Yeah.
And you suggest a character. You know the characters better.
Well,
than
I've got Sid James
me. Yeah.
as Roger the Dodger.
Yeah.
I was watching a documentary that I found on a VHS tape, and apparently Sid James wasn't very nice,
What?
and he was always like trying to make money.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I've heard he was
doing gambling.
He was, yeah, I've heard that. I haven't heard he wasn't very nice.
Yeah,
I've heard he was a nice guy, but yeah, had problems.
yeah,
Because I've read, sort of flicking through. It's not a proper book, but it's a book called The Women of Carry On.
yeah,
It tells you a bit about all the different actresses, it's sort of almost like a coffee table book. And there's an interview with one of the actresses who said that there was someone on set who was working on set of being really sexist and whatever towards the actresses, and Sid James went mad at them and got him thrown out.
Yeah.
He was like, part of our team, we were all the same, and he'd be like, he'd want the smaller actors and people to sit at the same tables as
Yeah.
But it might not be. Yeah, we're all different. We're all human, so we have
Yeah.
good and bad sides. So basically, Sid James ruled. Carry on.
yeah.
Carry on.
So Sid James was apparently making all these dodgy deals and stuff on set.
Yeah.
He'd be paid money for holding like the equivalent of having a Pepsi can. He would hold a can in shot.
Yeah.
And he would be paid for it, and he,
Oh, product placement.
yeah,
Ah, okay.
and he apparently was given cars that he then sold.
So it's gambled away. Then.
Yeah.
Legend.
So Roger the Dodger, because Roger was always trying to come up with schemes for doing things.
Yeah, that works.
Um,
The one from can I just get one in here? You know, what did he say his name was? Wally. The one in
Walter.
Walter. You know, when he looks like Charles Hawtrey because he's
Yeah.
got the glass and that. He should be played by Peter Butterworth. No, Charles Hawtrey for him.
Yeah,
Have you already got that one?
I hadn't actually, but that was a very good suggestion.
Yeah.
As Minnie the Minx, I'm going to show you a picture of Minnie the Minx, and I'm going to see if you can come up with one.
Imagine
Because
you're being shown a picture of me.
I couldn't think of one.
Oh.
She's like a female
Oh,
Dennis.
Yeah, there's there's a little old lady who was in a few of the films and Carry On Cruising and stuff. And I'll find out the name, and then you guys, if you're still listening, thank you, well done. You can look her up and see what you think. So I'm just doing it now because I'm it's very slow. I can't find it. But she was in loads of them, and like a little short lady. For some reason, it's come up with the bloke who plays Donald Fisher from Neighbours is in it, but he isn't.
Donald Fisher from Neighbours?
From Home and Away, sorry.
I was going to say.
So there he is. There she is. Esma Cannon. There you go. I think
she looks like what's her name? Pat Coombs. Do you remember Pat Coombs?
The name's familiar.
She was in a lot of sitcoms in the 70s and 80s, but she was quite old even back then.
Yeah, so I think she should definitely play her. If you look at that. Esma Cannon, who was with us from 1905 to 1972.
Yeah. So she wasn't with us.
No.
She wasn't with you.
No, no. So I reckon her. Next one, please.
I couldn't think of one for Dennis, so I'm looking for you for suggestions on that one.
Dennis, younger character, bit of a probably Jim Dale.
Yeah.
Put a little wig on him.
Yeah. Spiky hair.
Yeah, Jim Dale.
Yeah. And Bernard Breslaw as Plug.
Yes.
Because I'll show you a picture of him as well.
I think I remember Plug. But
he was like the unattractive member of the Bash Street Kids.
Plug, with a silly hat on.
Yeah. And there's Fatty.
Oh yeah.
Obviously the one that's quite fat.
Yeah. So there's a teacher there who does not really Carry On, but he could be with the moustache, Terry Thomas.
Yeah, or what's his name? John Cleese.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when he had the Fawlty Towers moustache.
Basil Fawlty, yeah. So who would? Yeah, Barbara Windsor. Who would she be? Anyone?
Oh, now Barbara Windsor being blonde. Yeah. It's quite difficult for her, I would say.
If we skipped over to Dandy,
Desperate
Dan could be Windsor Davis.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it?
Somebody's just banged your door downstairs.
Yeah, that would be a customer coming into the public house.
So you're open now, are you?
We've been open now 10 minutes. So, that would work. This is difficult because we're casting adults as kids.
Yeah. And also, a lot of the Beano is printed in black and white.
Yeah.
A lot of the pages. So there's no blondes, there's no,
Yeah.
They're either black hair or orange hair, as in Minnie.
Yeah. So was there any others you thought of?
No, that was it. That was all I came up with.
So, yeah, but I mean, it'd be good to see Windsor Davis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially as he's dead.
Is he still around?
I don't think so.
I don't think many of them are.
No. So, should we do the one I thought of? Because there's much controversy at the moment because there's a new Snow White movie out. Controversy because lots of older people seem to be upset about a kids' film. Won't go there. Already done a rant about it on another podcast. So, should we recast Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? I'm going to have to remember all Seven Dwarfs' names. Obviously,
Percy, Tony,
Tom Cruise. But obviously, we're using Carry On cast.
Yeah.
So don't get angry at us if we don't cast someone with dwarfism as one of the dwarfs.
Because there's not many members of the Carry-Ons that are
we mean
dwarfers.
Different times.
Is that a word? Dwarfers?
Dwarfs. Yeah. So I'm trying to find their names. There we go. So should we start with the dwarfs?
Yes.
So Happy?
Happy. Always Happy. That would be Jim... I was going to say Jim Carrey. But he's obviously not a Carry-On. But he's a Carey. Carry-On.
Carry-On. Yes, that's true.
So Carry-On, always happy. Always happy.
Always happy. I reckon, again, because he was often drunk.
Charles Hawtrey.
Charles Hawtrey. Yeah, Charles Hawtrey.
Yeah, because what's his name? The other one that died. Well, they all are. The other gay one.
Kenneth Williams.
Yeah, he would be. He was quite suicidal, so he wouldn't be happy.
No. I'm thinking as well. We'll jump. But I think Kenneth Williams, because it would be funny, should play the prince.
Yeah.
Just because it would be funny, and he's got that look of like, oh, I'm a prince.
Yeah, he quite often was getting on with the ladies in the films.
Yeah. Sneezy. What's the guy's name who keeps doing the twitch in Carry On Abroad? Glasses.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, so
I can't remember the name.
We'll look it up in a minute.
You all know who we're talking about.
Well, no, most people probably don't even know what the Carry On cast is. I don't know why we do this because it's funny. So he'd be Sneezy. Sleepy.
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 Because he was always sleeping around.
Oh, Sid James.
Yeah.
That's Sleep. We'll have Sid James is Sleepy. Bashful. Yeah, probably Bernard Bresslaw.
Yeah.
He'd be hilarious as a dwarf anyway. But he does that sort of embarrassed. Oh, Sid. You know what I mean?
Sid.
Yeah.
Who was it that said Sid?
Yeah, that was him, wasn't it?
That was him,
yeah.
Oh.
And then Dopey's a difficult one.
Yeah. Ooh.
We need someone all slapsticky and stuff. Probably Jim Dale.
Yeah.
Because he'd do the falling over and the...
Terry Scott.
There's Dopey. Yeah. Well, he'd be Doc, wouldn't he?
Would he?
Yeah, because he was the Doctor in the Carry On Doctors. All right,
okay.
Doc.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then the Dopey would be Jim Dale.
Yeah.
Okay. Have we had a Grumpy?
Not yet. No.
Grumpy. Because Windsor Davis could do that.
Yeah.
He was good at being grumpy.
He often was, wasn't he?
Yeah, the characters he played.
Yeah.
And Snow White and the Queen.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit obvious, but Barbara Windsor as Snow White.
She'd have to dye her hair though.
Well, just leave it.
Yeah.
It's fine, isn't it? And Joan Sims.
Yeah.
As the Queen. Do that work?
Yeah.
Or Hattie Jakes as the Queen.
Yeah.
Hattie Jakes as the Queen.
So who would James Sims be?
Joan Sims would be one of the little squirrels or birds around
Yeah.
about. There's not actually many characters in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs,
No.
is there? In the original one.
And we've got the Prince as well, haven't we?
Yeah, that'd be Kenneth Williams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would work. So we've recast the whole film.
Well done.
Yeah.
Job done.
Yep.
Now let's get that written and
We'll send it
start filming.
Send it to Hollywood. To be honest, it probably wouldn't get criticised as much as the new one.
No.
Which was unfairly criticised. Anyway. So we've done that. We probably should plan these ones more. But don't matter, does it?
No.
So next month we'll recast the Police Academy series with Carry-Ons.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done that yet, have we?
One thing we should do is one day when we run out of ideas, we recast the Carry-Ons, but without
them, yes.
Every
single 30 Carry-On film.
Yeah.
There's an hour filled, isn't there? I say, what we should do when we run out of ideas is ask people we know to select a topic for us every month.
Yeah.
We should do that, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think we've done it. I think we're on about 50 minutes. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Oh, I've got plenty of
stuff. Oh, go on in. I've got plenty of stuff.
The names, I'm only halfway through the list here, you know.
Oh, we're only living on a prayer.
The names of the titles would often be exaltations. So you'd have Whoopee,
Woo,
Core,
Knockout,
Wow.
Ah.
That was just a one-off thing I thought of.
Yeah, back of the net.
The 60s and the 70s often had celebrity strips.
Ooh.
Like
in Showgirls.
Like who?
Like in Showgirls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Freddie Parrotface Davis, Benny Hill, Morecambe and Wise, Bruce Forsyth, Bob Monkhouse.
Ah, that bit Bob. He was in a Carry-On film.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah, first one.
Was Bruce?
Nah, he was in, Bruce was in Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
That's it, yeah. I knew he was in something.
Yeah, he was good. He worked with Norman Wisdom, didn't he, at the Palladium thing?
Yeah. Not only was there humour comics, there was others like adventure comics like Thunder, Action, which was banned at one point and then tamed down. And there was also The Eagle and Adventure, but I was never into any of them.
Ooh.
And 2000 AD, obviously.
Oh yeah, 2000 AD.
I always preferred the humour comics because I was a bit of a joker as a kid, unlike now where I'm very serious.
Oh, blimey.
Some comics were on newspaper-sized paper until 1980, so they'd fall apart and you'd have pages missing.
So they're rare now.
Not particularly.
Oh.
I've got 2 big stashes
Okay.
at home of them. Monster Fun was a cash-in on the early 70s horror movies.
Like Hammer and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like Hammer.
And School Fun was a cash-in on Grange Hill.
Okay.
I had put in here repairing old comics with iron and Japanese acid-free tape because that's what I do
Alright.
quite a lot, and it's fairly good. There's not many remaining comics from the 80s, only a few, like Commando, The Beano, 2000 AD, But Rebellion and Treasury of British Comics are really seen. Old prints, and I've already said that actually.
Yeah, so you got that one in.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2000 AD, I always forget that's British.
Yeah.
You know, and it's...
Judge Dredd and...
Yeah, and they done a movie in America called Hardware, which was based on it.
They did, yeah.
That was good.
With Lemmy.
Yeah, Lemmy was in it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's my favourite film with Lemmy in. I think it's... No, Airheads is my favourite one, then that. And then Toxic Avenger 4. There we go. So,
Such an illustrious acting career.
which one of those 3 movies don't I own on Blu-ray? Airheads with Adam Sandler, Hardware, or Toxic Avenger 4? Which one don't I own?
Probably Hardware, because I've never seen it available in shops.
Incorrect. I do not own Airheads because it hasn't had a Blu-ray release
Oh, okay.
in this country.
Okay.
There we go.
Can your player not play American discs?
It can. I just don't like the packaging in America.
Oh,
I've got a few. I've got a few American ones.
Yeah.
Not many. And then they've got up there the Masters of the Universe and Last Starfighter American ones, but they have since had UK releases, which I've got.
For the listener, Andy is pointing to a large a shelf with a lot of Blu-rays on it.
Yeah, and Care Bear for some reason.
Yeah.
It's the
There
grumpy one.
are plenty of other Blu-rays around the room.
Yeah. So get us a topic in for next month.
Yes.
Either comment on the YouTube here with it, or on Spotify,
Yeah.
or let us know through the social medias.
Yeah.
And there is a group for this, which is mainly people trying to spam us at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah,
No.
but there's ways to contact us, and we'll put stuff up. Thank you for listening. Please give us a high rating, just because that'd be funny.
Yes.
This is an ironic 5 stars.
Yes.
You know, like how people who haven't seen Snow White go and give it 1.
5 stars. One of 5-star died recently,
What?
didn't he?
Which one? 4?
Stedman.
I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know how he died, but
There's a celebrity swears when the person rang up going live. Oh, that's a shame. On that sad note, we'll be back next month
yeah.
to talk about a new topic.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Stedman.
Yeah, this whole episode is dedicated to the band 5.
Always laughing through the airwaves.
Martin and Lou.
We just laugh without a care.
Martin and Lou.
We don't do politics, we don't do current affairs. We're 2 idiots talking rubbish. Leaving you resist.
Welcome to the Martin and Lewis show.
Yeah, it's the show.
Come on, folks, enjoy the flow.
Enjoy the flow.
Keep trucking, we won't let you go.
Won't let you go.
St. Louis, here we go.
Some folks think good times wrong.
Martin and Lewis,
Turn the dial and lose control.
let's take it slow.
On the airwaves, we bring the chin. No time for tears, so we're here to make a laugh. The rage to fit.
This is the Martin and Lewis show.
Yeah, it's the show.
Welcome, folks, enjoy